Hi, I'm Deneen Glass with your 420 Minute. So this last week was Thanksgiving, and working in retail, it's always an interesting week. And I heard a lot of people very glad to be going home and, visiting with relatives. And then I heard a lot of people kind of grumbling and maybe not quite so thrilled to be stuck, if you will, having to go and hang out with relatives, which is a shame. I mean, but sometimes relatives are toxic and you need to stay away from them, so I get that too. But everyone was traveling home for the holidays, and, or you know what I mean, not everyone, a lot of people. And at first I really wanted to be kind of depressed because I don't have a home, really in any regard. I have a couple rooms that I rent from a very dear friend, but as you know, I don't have a home, and my parents, my mother is gone and my father is in a home, and so my home of origin is gone. And now my daughter's not really home of origin, but certainly her home is gone from her. And so it could have been a strange Thanksgiving. And that's really what I want to talk about today, is attitude. And we ended up, both my daughter and I, spending the holiday with dear cousins that I love very much. My point is, it's easy to get kind of mired in our circumstances. It's easy to get depressed and down about what we don't have, or mistakes that we've made that have caused us to be in the situation that we're in. But our attitude is really the one thing that we get to choose in life. And so as I thought about attitude this week, I just wanted to have a positive attitude. I just really wanted to have a good attitude, a thankful attitude. And it really has to do with that renewal of mind that Christ talks about, as well as Paul. And my scripture comes out of Ephesians. Paul wrote this, and Paul was the guy who kind of killed Christians for sport, and that's a bit of an exaggeration, but until he actually met the true Jesus, the true way to spirituality, not really religious doctrine. And he wrote these words in Ephesians 4, verses 22 through 24. He says, "You were taught with regard to your former way of life to put off your old self, which is being corrupted by its deceitful desires, to be made new in the attitude of your minds, and to put on new self, created to be like God in true righteousness and holiness." To be made new in the attitude of your mind. It just reminded me to not let my circumstances dictate my attitude. I remember the metaphor, in my opinion, of God splitting the sea so we could walk right through it. And if you think about it, when is a sea going to split? It's going to split in the middle of a storm. But God split that sea so we could walk right through it. So we could have peace in the middle of that storm. God's got you. I know God's got me. So I decided this week to choose my attitude and let it be a positive one, instead of letting kind of my attitude and my circumstances choose me. So I hope that's helpful for you this week. I wish you all grace and peace, and if you'd like to get notifications of these every week, just go ahead and hit like and subscribe on the YouTube channel, Deneen K. Glass. Have a great week.